Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's July 22nd, 2026 meeting of the Brighton Town Board. I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and I'm pleased to have you here, whether you're with us in the room in person or watching our live stream. I hereby call this meeting to order, and I'll invite everyone to rise if you are able, or rise in spirit if you are not physically able. I'll ask Councilmember Sanguinetti to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will begin the open forum in just a couple minutes. Of course, the open forum is that portion of the meeting where members of the public can share their comments with the town board. I do want to acknowledge and thank, because we've been doing this for many, many years now, we make our town board meetings accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing community. Thanks to our ASL interpreters. Tonight, Abigail Bush and Michael Fisher are our interpreters. Thank you both very much for being here. As a reminder, the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as all of the materials we review as part of the meeting, are available on the town's webpage, www.brightonny.gov, and they're also available out on the desk outside the room here. So let's begin that open forum. And as I mentioned, we hold it at the beginning of every town board meeting. It's an opportunity for members of the public to address the board concerning any matter relating to the town, whether or not it's actually on our agenda this evening. Once I finish these instructions, if you are here in the room and would like to speak during the open forum, please raise your hand. When I call on you, if you would, please come to the podium to speak. If you're participating in the meeting remotely and would like to speak during the open forum, you have to join us on Teams. And there are instructions for doing that right on the town's webpage. And if you want to do that, please use the raised hand function on Teams. You'll be unmuted by the text back there, and you'll have the opportunity to speak. I do ask all speakers during the open forum, whether in person or remotely, to please state your name and address before speaking. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes. And I will give you 30 seconds warning before we get to 3 minutes. We may not be able to answer all your questions, particularly if you have questions concerning matters that are not on our agenda this evening. But our goal always is to give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us and for us to be able to listen thoughtfully to your words. So please direct your remarks to the town board and not to the room or to other speakers. Please avoid personal attacks and outbursts of any kind, including applause or booing or anything of the sort during the open forum, out of respect for everyone else here tonight. Persons who don't follow these rules will be warned. Repeated failure to follow these rules or failure to follow other direction from the chair may result in your speaking privileges being ended, being directed to leave the meeting, or the early termination of the open forum. So with that, let me ask, is there anyone here wishing to address the board during the open forum? Hearing none, then Chris, can I have a motion? And nobody online? Nope.
Teams at all?
I don't see anybody with their hand. I just see one person there, but
Very well, Bill.
Mr. Miller, are you there to speak to the board? I don't believe so.
All right. And if that's the case, Bill, then I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
That was a popular one. Motion to approve the agenda. Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Can I have a motion to receive and file the communications?
I move that we receive and file the communications.
Second.
We have one item of communication tonight, and it's a letter from June Summers, President of the Genesee Valley Audubon Society. It was dated June 30, 2026. It expressed concern with the removal of trees on the Town Hall campus as part of the Town Hall renovation project. And I had inadvertently failed to include this communication in the record of our last town board meeting, and I apologized for that, and I apologize again to Ms. Summers and to anyone else. So I do want to include that letter in the record tonight, but I do want to clarify, contrary to what is suggested in the letter, there are no plans to remove the two large trees from the front lawn of Town Hall as part of this project. So with that having been said, we have a motion to receive and file the communications. Dan, further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Committee reports, starting with Community Services.
Yes, Community Services met on July 15th. We did have to change the location of the meeting, moved it to this building because the community center is booming, busting at the seams. Lots going on this summer. We had an update from Dr. Moore on inclusion, diversity, and equity activities. She presented a staff workshop for the summer camp seasonal staff at the Recreation Department, focusing on individual-centered leadership. She also briefed us on the Pride Parade, which many of us in this room participated in on Saturday. And there was discussion about the town's partnership with, or support for the 2026 Harvest Moon Festival. Matt Beeman, Superintendent of Parks, and Miriam are the two internal points of contact for that. And they're working out the logistics of using Meridian Center to celebrate the Harvest Moon. From Parks, we had a recap of the 4th of July festivities. The rain in the early afternoon was a challenge, but in the end, everything went off as planned. There was some discussion of potential backup plans for weather-related concerns in the future. But on balance, the whole thing was quite festive. Recreation programs, the summer concert series is underway. There has been an increase in sponsorships this year, which is exceptionally welcome. Attendance numbers have also been very high, although sadly we had to cancel this week's concert due to inclement weather. The budget planning in the department and all departments is underway, but it was noted that recreation is planning carefully for the upcoming year, and those are the highlights from recreation. Events on the horizon. We hosted on July 19th, Council Member on Your Corner. We had about 35 residents stop by to talk to us about a whole range of matters. We were also graced by the presence of very small residents from the Saltzman household. That was great fun to see them. One of the hot topics was walk audits, taking a close look at spots in town in an orderly way to help support the case for crosswalks and other pedestrian safety matters. And there will be more coming up on that in the near future. The community bike ride, the last one of the season, is coming up on September 18th. That one has been graciously sponsored by Councilmember Saltzman and County Legislator Sue Hughes Smith. September 26th, we already mentioned the Harvest Moon Festival on the 26th. It's also the date for homecoming for the Brighton Central School District, so get ready for a lot of activity in town on the 26th.
Of September.
Of September, yes. Highlighting some upcoming events, way upcoming events. We are also seeking to nail down a date for the Fall Electronics Recycling and Document Shredding event. It will be in October, we anticipate, and just a way look into the future. Brighton Farmers Market returns to the Winter Market Barn on November 29th. And those are the highlights. That's enough for tonight. Lots of community services activity going on. Next meeting will be Wednesday, August 19th at 10 o'clock. We anticipate we'll be back at the Recreation Center at 1666 Winton Road South, unless things are bursting at the seams again next month.
Thank you. Clara, Finance and Administrative Services.
Thank you. The Finance and Administrative Services Committee met this past Wednesday, July 15th. It was a packed agenda, so I'll try to be brief. We discussed extending a Verizon cell tower lease, which is expiring at the end of this year, for 2 additional 5-year periods. And we thought it would be reasonable to first invest in an appraisal to get a better sense of what's the fair market value of, leasing this tower. And that's estimated to cost about $2,000. We also discussed, the schedule of the meetings of the Budget Review Task Force that has been reviewing the 2027 capital improvement projects. We also discussed the need to sign a proposal with TK Elevator Corporation, because the elevator we currently have is reaching or is maybe past its useful life. So the expected amount will be set not to exceed $250,000. Sorry. Then we also discussed the request for the town board to authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Labella Associates. This is to help with the planning and the conceptual design for the town hall campus recreation amenities, which is, as many people know, as Phase 3 of the Town Hall renovation project. This project is expected to cover 3 phases. The first phase would be the site assessment. Second phase would include looking at the pool and the mechanics and accessibility of the water facilities. And lastly would be the community engagement to get that feedback. I believe they discussed having workshops, and we discussed the need to make sure that the community engagement is done in an accessible way so that all residents can participate. Then we also discussed another agreement with Labella Associates for them to provide professional services for surveying and design of different sidewalk projects under the 50/50 Morrow County Cost Share Program. The 5 sections include 2 sections on Westfall, 2 sections on Elmwood, and lastly, a section of Clover. We also discussed the town budget report for the 6-month period ending on June 30th. And lastly, we also discussed a solicitation of bids for new furniture at Town Hall. Our next meeting will be held on Wednesday, August 5th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you, Clara. Public Safety.
Bill, Public Safety last met on July 14th. We started with a discussion on traffic calming on Chelmsford Lane. The chief came prepared with traffic data. The Brighton Police have been out there tracking this data, and we presented that to the residents. We ended that conversation by talking about how we're going to present to the neighbors some estimates on sidewalks, some cost estimates on sidewalks, and then continue that discussion at the next meeting. We also discussed sidewalks on Elmwood Lane. We discussed safety in our town parks, and the chief updated us on a successful bike rodeo, or at that time it was a soon-to-be successful bike rodeo. I'll tell you how I know it's successful, because I saw many people walking by me with brand new bikes, and a lot of happy kids. So that was our meeting. Our next meeting will be on August 11th at 0800 hours.
Thank you, Nate. Public Works, Chris.
Thanks, Bill. We met for Public Works on July 14th at 9 o'clock, and a number of items under discussion. First, the Town Hall interior renovations. The interior finishes are approaching the point where we can get to a punch list, and there's a punch list inspection scheduled for August 13th.
It's August 10th.
It's now August 10th?
Yeah.
I will adjust the minutes accordingly. Thanks. And there's also a planned electrical, plumbing, and mechanical punch list inspection scheduled for July 24th.
Yes.
All right, then, it's still the same. The site work update with Zolad's Construction is that they've mobilized on site and have begun construction, working in the northwest corner amongst the geothermal wells, et cetera. The recreation phase update, DPW is coordinating with Labella Associates for concept design, and as part of their contract with Labella will be a pre-engineering survey and a mechanical survey of the pool facility, and they will also facilitate community input forms to seek public input as well before moving on to the final design stages. We had a waste management update. There's been an increase in calls from residents. A large focus has been the difficulties getting bulk orders picked up. To some extent, they indicate that this is a sign of the spring season, but we're looking at alternatives, alternative approaches.
And more to follow on that
All right, good.
tonight.
Also, I don't see them here. All right, more on the agenda. The Conservation Board sent a tree canopy report, and they've expressed some concerns with the replacement rate. The goal of the town is to be replacing trees at a rate of 1.5 trees for every tree taken down. We've had some difficulty with tree loss due to the June 18 windstorm as well. But we've doubled the tree replacement order for 2026 this year, and hopefully 2027 will be similar. We had a update regarding paving and the chip seal and paving schedule was presented, and they are paving Elmwood Hill Lane. Would have been this week, last week. All set with that, though. Thank you. Sidewalk repairs. Approximately 210 linear feet of sidewalk are scheduled to be ground to remove trip hazards in the Clovercrest Drive and Fireside Drive neighborhoods. A highway is working to replace sections of sidewalk in the Meadowbrook Tract and also Council Rock. The sewer department has lined approximately 600 linear feet of pipe to date, with an additional 1,500 scheduled. They've completed 8 sewer main repairs, including 5 laterals. They flushed approximately, this is approximately 137,878 feet. Sounds pretty precise to me. We were all taken aback at that number, but that is the number, 137,000 feet of sanitary sewer flushed, as well as 11,000 storm sewer feet as well. We discussed the New York State Department of Transportation updates, and particularly the Monroe Avenue work that the state is doing. It appears that their primary focus for now is between the 590 bridge and into Pittsford, and we've yet to receive drawings for the other portion in Brighton that runs to the city line. Also, the various other town projects that are pending, there's the Homeacres Monument Wall Rehabilitation job. There was a neighborhood meeting which was well attended and very helpful, and Barrow Architecture is working to finalize the drawings there. Also, the 50/50 sidewalk updates. DPW is working with Labella Associates on a design proposal to prepare construction drawings for Elmwood and Westfall sidewalks that we've received our funding for. And Chad Roscoe mentioned that there are more funds available from the county, and believe us, we are working on that and hope to expand that program especially along Westfall, and fill that gap there as well. The next meeting will be August 11th at 9:00 a.m.
Thank you, Chris. That concludes committee reports, new business. Clara, reading and approval of claims, please.
Earlier today, I reviewed the claims, which total $1,228,364.53. Of note, we have the annual payment for the 17, 18, and 2021 serial bonds, including principal and interest payments that went to cover road equipment, including trucks, plows, tractors, and that's approximately $180,000. We also have almost $110,000 that we paid for sidewalk repairs. So all claims appear to be in order, and I move for them to be approved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Maley?
Aye. Chris?
Bill, the next item is to, excuse me, I lost my place here. Is this Landry?
The elevator. The elevator.
Oh, excuse me, I thought we already did the elevator, that's what confused me. The next item is in Clara's report. The next item is to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement with TK Elevator Corporation for the Town Hall Elevator Modernization Project in an amount not to exceed $153,250. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
As Clara did mention, this was discussed in the Finance Administrative Services Committee. The elevator, yes, has passed its useful life, and it is not operative at the moment. And frankly, the TK Elevator Corporation felt that sort of minor relay replacement, it just wasn't, they couldn't give any assurance that that would do the trick. So it is a, very, very old elevator, and so this will dramatically modernize the whole elevator system and do some work as well to the car itself, which is also old. So as noted, the cost would be $153,250. Glenn, anything more to?
No, it's just getting harder and harder to get the parts for these older elevators.
Right.
And so as they fail, it just takes a little bit more time, and it's rolling the dice if we can get it operational,
Yeah.
given the age of it.
Yeah. Good. All right. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Maley?
Aye. Nate, the next one, please.
The next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to execute a change order with Millstone Construction Partners, Inc. for the Town Hall renovation project in an amount not to exceed $3,960. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
We have three relatively quite minor change orders here. One reflects replacing some masonry block, and that one was due to some work that was not done properly by another contractor, and we are going to withhold money in the cost of that. There are also some field modifications to existing doors because they're rubbing against the new floor surface, and also to permit those doors to receive electric strikes for our card readers. And again, the total is $3,960, but again, 1,100 or so of it we intend to retain. We have a motion. It's been seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Maley?
Aye. Christine?
The next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to execute yet another change order with Landry Mechanical for the Town Hall renovation project in an amount not to exceed $9,295.18. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
This is also a matter we discussed in finance, and thanks to the work that Glenn did, there is a reduction in the price from what we heard at the Finance Committee. This relates to the installation of an accessible drinking fountain and bottle filler, and reflects that related plumbing and other improvements will be needed. But as part of that, I know Glenn did some work to compare this price and is satisfied that it fairly reflects the price and is 500 less than what we originally.
Yeah, after I went and investigated it and compared their materials that they spec'd out in their original proposal, I questioned why we had so much of the 1.5-inch pipe and the 3/4-inch pipe, and they acknowledged that they were high. They reduced their price, reduced the amount of materials, and lowered the price according to what was actually needed to do the project.
Good. Well, thank you for that. We have a motion. It's been seconded. Anything further? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Manley?
Aye. Clara?
The next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement with Labella Associates for the provision of public input, planning, and engineering services for the Town Hall Campus Recreation Amenities Project in an amount not to exceed $52,500, and authorize any potential necessary change order in an amount not to exceed 10% of said contract price. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
As discussed, this is engineering, planning services relating to the recreational facilities at Town Hall, renovation of the pool and mechanical building, as well as splash pad, new playground, and new pavilion, including not only planning and conceptual design, but also community outreach. We have a motion and a second. Anything further? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Manley?
Aye. Chris?
Next item, bill is to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement also with Labella Associates for the provision of planning, land use, zoning, and engineering services for 3 sidewalk projects in an amount totaling $81,500, and to authorize any potential necessary change orders in an amount not to exceed 10% of the contract price. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
And the agenda talks about 3 sidewalk projects, and there really are 3 arterial streets, and we're projecting them up on the screen now. They will be located on Elmwood, Westfall, and Clover Street, but they're really 5 segments because there's a couple different segments on both Elmwood and on Westfall. This is go back if you would.
Not playing with me right. There we go. Let me see if I can zoom it in better.
This is Clover Street between Esplanade and Rowland. This,
Did we go to the next one?
yes. The next segment is a short segment on Elmwood just to the east of the 590, connecting existing sidewalk at the 590 on-ramp to the Auburn Trail. Only about 150 feet there, but a very important connection. Then the significant sidewalks along Elmwood east of the 12 Corners, between Monroe and 590, filling a large gap there, recognizing, however, that because of the bridge over the creek, that section will not have a sidewalk at this point, but the rest of that link will be completed all the way down to the 590 off-ramp onto Elmwood. And then, of course, once you cross Elmwood, it connects with that new sidewalk, short sidewalk leg to the Auburn Trail. Then we have Westfall Road on the south side of Westfall between Edgewood and Monroe. That segment of Westfall really has been crying out for sidewalks for a long time. I'm glad this is an opportunity to do that. And then the next segment is more Westfall sidewalks. This would be completing that leg on the south side from Edgewood down to Del Rio Drive, and then on the north side from Roosevelt to Monroe. So some very significant sidewalk connections here, all paid for in part 50% through the Monroe County 50% grant program. And Labella will be doing, the reason we're talking about all this is, again, the engineering contract with Labella before we can do the construction work. The motion was made by Chris and seconded, I think, by Clara or Christine?
Nate.
Nate.
I didn't say into
Not
the
that
microphone.
wrong.
I'm trying to get better at staying away from the microphone. Right?
Any further discussion on these sidewalk projects?
Yes. I have just a question, actually, and forgive me, it's probably already been addressed in a meeting that I might not have made. The Edgewood Avenue connector between Monroe and Stony Brook, is there a reason that is not included in this group? Or is that?
That's a smaller sidewalk that we're working to do with in-house labor with the highway department.
Okay.
So it's not as significant as these sections, which requires a detailed design impacting potentially resident properties, rights-of-way, and additional issues.
But we are planning on doing that Edgewood this year as well, correct?
We're working to get that lined up with the in-house staff for that.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
But we won't need to do a design for that.
Okay.
It's with all the work.
It's all been done already.
Yeah.
Yep, got that. Excellent, thank you.
Anything further? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Hold on. Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Clara, the next item, please.
Yeah, where were we? The next matter seeks to amend the table of organization for the IT department and the non-represented employees' salary and wage schedule. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
This will add the position of system administrator, and it will be in Group 9 of the schedule. Any discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Chris, the next item, please.
Bill, the next item is to authorize the solicitation of bids for the purchase of new furniture for the Town Hall renovation project. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Can I have a second?
Second.
It's a little history here. As you know, when we moved out of Town Hall, some of the furniture was clearly not going to go with us. It was old, it was outdated. We know that we're going to be looking at furniture. So what this bid proposal will do is we'll get opportunities to look at pricing for a number of, whether it's chairs, tables, and the like. This is not committing us to any specific purchase, but it is simply authorizing the solicitation of bids. Then once we get those bids, we'll look at pricing for comparable furniture, determine what our needs are, and then make purchasing decisions that obviously this board will ultimately have to take action on. But this is just the solicitation of bids.
Did the sit-stand survive in as the alternate in the bid?
I know it's something we're going to look at, as well as the portable on-desk stand-up model. And, we want to get pricing on what the different options will cost.
Yeah, okay. This is an employee wellness thing.
Yep.
I just, as
No, I
advocate, as
understand.
I've outfitted my office with them, so I'm just a big advocate for them, so.
And to the point, Supervisor, were employees given an opportunity to provide feedback as to what furniture they need?
That will come when we, the bids are very extensive. For different, but it did go through, various department level discussion, yes. Further discussion? Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Christine?
Sure. The last item seeks to appoint Supervisor Mealy as the official delegate to the New York Association of Towns Legislative Conference. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
This is, the Association of Towns has changed their calendar a little bit, recognizing that the February annual meeting is very, very late in the budget and legislative cycle for making recommendations on legislative changes. They have instituted this legislative conference in September, which will give an opportunity to review the legislative agenda for the AOT and make recommendations to the legislature at a much earlier stage in the process. This is the first time they've done that, and I know they're very optimistic that this will help in terms of the success of their legislative agenda. Much of the legislative agenda relates to home rule and making sure that state mandates are not put on local government, but there's also a wide range of other items, and local towns can propose legislative action to come before this committee. So,
And is this conference, it's open to the delegates from each member community? Is it open to other elected officials to participate?
I believe it's open to attend, but not to vote.
Not to vote.
I can confirm that.
Okay, thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none. Dan, please call the roll.
Hopefully the Clerks Association will follow suit. Our conference isn't until the end of April, so it's even later into the process.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's-
when we get presented ideas to support, it's like, well, at this point,
It's done.
Could have been lobbying for 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Councilmember-
And I do know that, legislators, have been invited to this session, to hear directly.
Oh,
It sounds like that might be a future leadership opportunity, Clerk Amon.
your mic. Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye, thank you. Matters of the supervisor. We will start with the second quarter financial report. Earl?
The 6-month report is very similar to the 3-month report. Not a lot has happened in the past 3 months. However, there are a couple things to point out. And we'll go through the slides as usual. I want to also note that the June 2026 expense and revenue reports that come directly from our accounting system are available on the town website under the Finance Department page, if anybody is interested in looking at the details. We start by showing the adopted budget for the year and just reminding everyone for our 3 town funds, the general fund, highway fund, and library fund, the total budget for spending this year is right around $35 million. And we compare our revenue and expenditure percentages of our budget so far this year, and we take a look at last year as well. We know that last year was a positive year financially, so that's a good gauge of comparison. And the couple things to note here, under the second category of sales tax, we are at 22.8% of our budget so far this year versus 27.3% last year. And that's of course, we get 4 of those payments in a year, so we'd like to be over 25% in each quarter. And this year, we had a first quarter adjustment passed along to us. It was just not to the town of Brighton, but all municipalities in Monroe County, because the county had a very large refund that included a number of years for a large organization. So there was a drop in our revenue figures by about 10% because of that refund. And so for us, that was about $150,000. The county does not give us prior notice when every once in a while these types of things will happen. So we tend to get surprised by that, as everybody else does. Otherwise, the sales tax numbers looked good for the second quarter, and we don't expect another adjustment. We did ask the question to try to make sure there wasn't going to be a similar refund that they knew about, and we were told that there was not. So hopefully we can make up some of that ground this year. So that was something we talked about in an earlier meeting regarding sales tax, and that's a big number for us. So that's the main reason why our revenue is a little bit behind last year at this time. The other thing to note is on the expenditure side, and that is our utilities number, which is this, I guess, the third line from the bottom, and we are at 46.5% of our budget so far this year, compared to 37.8% last year. And sometimes our story matches the headlines, and we all know what's happened to utility and fuel prices this year, so we would anticipate that they would be higher than last year, and they are. So the next slide provides a little more detail on all of our different utilities, just to give you a glimpse into our history. So back in 2022, they were about $885,000, and this also includes all of our utility costs. And you can see that 23 and 24, as most people experienced, the prices came down, and especially fuel prices were low. And even in 25, they remained pretty low. But this year, they've spiked, and we're just projecting they're going to be about $150,000 more than they were last year. So that's a budget headwind for this year that we didn't have last year. So those are the two, I think, updates for this quarter.
Very
Otherwise,
interesting. It's very interesting how dramatically utility expenses have gone up since 2024. 2024, I'm trying to think what changed in 2024. That utility costs have gone up, what, close to 50% since
Yes.
then? Okay, just throwing that out there.
from 688 to 936, and the
Little-
936
little bit
is
less than
just a
50%, but-
anticipated number.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what that number is going to be, but
It went down for the 2 years before that, didn't? Okay.
And the next couple slides, we talked about last quarter, so I won't spend a lot of time on them, but health insurance premiums are very high for us, as for most organizations, so we're managing that as best we can, and the New York State retirement contribution as well. These are very big numbers for us.
And they're really numbers that we have no control over.
Yes, exactly. So our comments really remain the same. Inflation is high, and we're managing that as best we can. I think I added a bullet about the higher gas and utility prices because they really increased a lot this year. And interest rates on the positive side, interest earnings remain high. Our interest rates have stayed high as the expected fall in rates has not occurred yet. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but we will see what happens as we move forward. But when they stay where they are now, we're earning more interest income than we've budgeted, so that's helpful to us. The final slide just lists the conclusions for the year. There are 5 of them, and they are pretty much unchanged from our first quarter.
Thanks, Earl. Yeah, I mean, we talk about benefits, and the state retirement system is something we have no control over. Our insurance plans, we have some ability, and we have been able, by participating in consortiums for health insurance, workers' comp insurance, and property casualty liability insurance, although premiums have gone up in general because of our participation in the consortium, we have been able to mitigate those increases somewhat. But it is only somewhat, because we have seen
I think a good
significant
example, you mentioned workers' comp, so that's an example of something we do have some control over. And
Right.
We just received word that our experience modification is very low, even lower than last year. So when that renews, we expect a little change there, and that does not renew until January, but we'll be getting those prices soon.
Yeah, kudos to our staff, because that's a reflection of good safety practices that have kept our safety experience extremely strong compared to other communities. Of course, we were recognized. We received an award last year from the State Association of Towns because of our safety practices. So those continue. Thank you. Any questions? All right. A couple of other things I want to talk about. We talked about bulk refuse pickup. We had been speaking with Waste Management, our provider, our refuse collection for our refuse districts. This morning, we announced a new customer service initiative. Waste Management has agreed that they will do bulk pickups And by bulk pickups, I mean those items that are too large to fit in a toter, mattress, items of furniture, that sort of thing. They will be picking those items up through the 5,200 or so households in the Brighton Refuse District every Monday. They will have a dedicated truck, and they will be going through town every Monday, picking those items up. The procedure for requesting a pickup is the same, and the easiest way to do it is to go to the town's webpage, click on the Waste Management Refuse District link, and when you get to the Waste Management page, you can schedule the pickup for your address, but it will be picked up then on Monday. You need to request that pickup by the end of the day Wednesday for the next Monday pickup. So if you got something, hustle home, get it in the system for tonight, and they will pick it up Monday. What we've seen, and what this is a response to, our overall our experience, customer service experience with Waste Management has been steadily improving since the start of the year for the most part. But what we have seen is the bulk pickups and the misses on those. So having that dedicated crew with one mission and one mission only will really be, I think, helpful for us in terms of the success in the pickup, and frankly, more efficient for Waste Management. So I do think it's a win-win. So if you have these items, put them out Sunday night. It also means you're not going to have to, we hope, have them sitting out on the street. We get those complaints. Hey, there's been a mattress out for 2 weeks. What this will enable us all to do is put our items out Sunday night, no matter what your regular pickup day is, and this dedicated bulk pickup crew will come through on Monday. There is no charge, no additional charge for this service, and somebody asked me about that today when we announced it, and it is a win-win. I mean, I think obviously we're getting an additional service, but for Waste Management, it's a more efficient way to pick up those bulk items. So
I understand what you were saying, more to follow on
yes,
that bill. That's,
exactly.
Expected Waste Management to be here, but even better, you've got that agreement. That's terrific. But again, the focus is that you have to request the pickup for that Monday, so don't just put it out on Sunday
Correct.
thinking it'll be removed.
Correct. Yeah. Speaking of pickups, we've heard from a lot of people over the last month or so concerned as to whether branches and lawn and garden debris, particularly bulk debris, are still being picked up. The answer is yes, but because of not only that one big storm in June, but we've had a whole series of storms that have caused some significant branch, tree, and other problems. There's a lot more people are putting debris out in front of their house over the last month or so. And as a result, because there's more stuff to be picked up, it's taking the highway department a lot longer to get through town. In the immediate aftermath of those storms, our highway department crews also had to spend more time picking up branches and trees that were blocking streets instead of picking up debris in front of people's homes. So that has been a part of the problem. So yes, they are getting around town, but they are getting around town for these bulk pickups much more slowly. If you've got stuff that's small enough that you can containerize it, either in one of the big brown paper bags or some other kind of container, it will get picked up faster that way right now. But I do want to, again, assure everybody that those branches that are out in front of people's yards are going to be picked up. You can go to the town's webpage and click on the button for lawn and garden debris. There's a map that'll show you where they expect to be over the next couple days. people ask me sometimes, well, why is it only the next 2 or 3 days? Particularly now, again, because of the volume of material, they can't accurately estimate, where they'll be in a week. So, but you will see them moving through town. So even if your neighborhood isn't on tomorrow's or the next day's, it'll give you a sense as to where they are and to where they will be another day or two after that. So I appreciate, and I've heard from a lot of people, gratitude for the highway workers, particularly when they've worked overtime, when they've cleared trees and branches out of the way of streets and sidewalks. So as usual, they're doing a lot of work, and I think doing it as well as we can expect. Finally, I want to thank our Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Miriam Moore, and everybody that has participated in the town's Pride activities over the past 2 months. As most of you here know, but a lot of people don't realize, because they ask, why wasn't Pride in June? And in most parts of the country it is. But in the Rochester area for decades, Pride has been celebrated in July, largely because people in the LGBTQ plus community travel and celebrate Pride in other communities in New York, San Francisco, Toronto, and then come home in they do it in June and then celebrate here in July. So since our last meeting, we had a wonderful ceremony here where we recognized Eric Vaughn Johnson, the executive director and artistic director of OFC Theater here in Brighton. That day, we also unfurled the unique Town of Brighton Pride flag, which you see displayed out in the atrium here. And then this past Saturday, we are still the only town that marches as a town in the Pride Parade. I hope that will begin to change. But it was great to have so many folks come out and join us, and volunteers, friends, family, elected officials from Brighton. And the response that we got, particularly from town residents along the side of the road who were really happy to see the town of Brighton marching again this year. We were fortunate enough to finish the parade route, but the downpour started not long afterwards. Some people got out dry. I did not. I walked back to the car and got drenched. But despite that downpour, it was a great experience. The response from people, as always, was wonderful. So thank you to the organizers of the parade, and thank you to Miriam and everybody that participated with the town of Brighton. Matters of the attorney to the town.
Thank you, Supervisor. Nothing to report this evening. I would request an executive session to discuss 3 matters leading to the appointment of particular persons.
Sounds good. We will do that. Matters of the town clerk.
Nothing this evening.
Matters of the town board.
Bill, I wanted to point out that something you might have missed, that the traffic control box across the street.
I didn't miss that,
You
Chris.
saw that, you noticed that.
But keep going.
The Ratina Associates' address is at 160 Sawgrass. Has approached the town and asked permission to paint the traffic control box, and I traditionally have done the primer. And I've been dancing around extreme sunshine and 113-degree traffic control box, which is too hot, and then too much rain. And I got it in between the rainstorm this morning and sunshine later in the day. So it's all primed, ready to go. I understand from Margaret Wheelahan at Ratina Associates that they intend to decorate that box on August the 10th.
Great.
So I'm looking forward to that. And please, anybody else in the community, if you're interested in decorating these traffic control boxes, there are a few of them that's gotten real ugly with different graffiti. We'd love to see you, the community, to step up and show us your artistic talents and do more of it.
My window upstairs does look out on that intersection, and I did see you this morning out painting. You'll notice that it's much whiter traffic control box
And I
now.
got to say, I no sooner closed the tailgate on my car, and it started to rain. But only for about 5 minutes.
Well, thank you
Not
for...
enough to make a difference.
Thank you for doing that, Chris.
That's terrific, the program that you spearhead.
Well, it's great.
Will we see a preview of, or have a hint of what?
Well,
the final
actually, we
product will be?
circulated that about a year ago.
We have seen it already.
You have seen it, and if I can find it in my emails, I'll send it around again. It's great.
All right.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you to our ASL interpreters. Can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of particular people?
Bill, I move that we go into executive session to discuss the employment of particular people.
Second.
Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti,
Aye.
Supervisor Mailer.
Aye. Our next meeting will be held 3 weeks from tonight. This is a 5-Wednesday month, so 3 weeks from tonight, Wednesday, August 12th at 7 p.m., here in this room at SUNY Empire State University. Thanks, everybody. I do not anticipate coming back out into public session, so we will see you, if not sooner, on August 12th. Have a great evening, everyone.
Councilmember Werner.